Welcome back to Afternoon Express, this fantastic Monday afternoon. Now, it's important to talk about gender empowerment, to drive growth in different areas of society. Do you think that we've reached gender equality in the workplace? Well, today we're joined by the director of the Top Woman Awards and publication, Carla Fletcher, and she is here to tell us more. Carla, welcome to Afternoon Express.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Afternoon.
Thank you. Now, tell me, why do you feel there was a need to come up with the idea of the Top Woman Awards?
Because there is obviously a massive gap in society in terms of equality, especially in the workplace, but from every area in kind of South Africa and also globally. So it's important that we need to start identifying the good stories that are out there, which there are many, and people don't know that all the time. And our research started to identify more and more through the publication.
Yeah.
And then we need to know, who are the big players and what are these people doing, and start recognizing people for their good work so we can emulate it.
Now, I think the awards is in its 14th year.
Yeah.
I mean, how has it grown from 14 years ago to where it is now?
Jeez, wow. I mean, I think we started with 400 qualified companies when we first started.
Yeah.
That was in the publication through our research. We're now sitting in about 2,500 organizations. So there's a lot of good work going on. There's also a lot more programs that are happening, and we're seeing a lot more collaborations. So there is a huge effort, I think, from policy all the way to individuals and kind of the mentality and the societal mentality.
Am I correct in saying that now South Africa ranks as #1 in terms of the most female CEOs and directors across all sectors, but it's still only at something like 11.6%. Why is it still so low? And do you think that we will ever see a 50-50 status?
We're aiming for a 50-50 status.
Yeah.
So I think generally South Africa is doing well if you are comparing it worldwide, but it's still not enough. And I think in government we do relatively well. There are a lot of good programs that are happening in the corporate sector, but it's not enough. And what needs to happen is we need to start looking at youth, and we also need to start looking at male representation and encouragement.
Yeah.
Having men, I think a lot of women have male mentors and don't say that enough. They're always looking for a female mentor. And the roles that men can play is huge in gender empowerment as well.
Yeah, I think it is quite interesting. I've got a male mentor, and I think
Mine
there's
was
nothing wrong
too,
with it.
and I think we need to start sharing that, because so we work with the United Nations, and they've got a campaign called He for She campaign,
Yeah.
which is about male ambassadors supporting gender empowerment, from presidents to actors to big business CEOs.
Exactly. Now, who exactly is nominated this year? Oh, no, actually, you said nominations are still open.
Yeah.
So who could be nominated for the Top Woman Awards?
I mean, we have a variety. So we look at everybody who's involved or could impact gender empowerment. So we look at companies, especially because of the employment rates that they have, and they have a big impact and big budgets, so there's a lot they can do. And we want to know what programs they're doing to accelerate gender empowerment. So we look at all organizations, big organizations across all sectors.
Yeah.
And then we look at individuals. So we look at your kind of top businesswoman of the year, and we look at the young entrepreneurs and the young achievers. You are getting this kind of digital disruption at the moment. So what's happening in the new sectors and what's happening in kind of the digital sphere.
Yeah.
But so it varies across landscapes. And we also look at government, we look at CSI. So wherever you are in terms of gender empowerment, there's an opportunity to be recognised. And we would like people, I think the one thing I've realised and learnt over the years is women don't want to put their hand up often enough to be recognised.
But are they nominating themselves, or are other people nominating them?
It's a combination. So there are organisations that we have research on, and we say to them, look, we've researched you, and what you're doing is really great, and we want you to submit your programs and tell us what you're doing. And then we have campaigns externally where we say to women, hey, you're doing great work, come and get recognised for an award, because look what it does for your business.
Yeah.
People want to work with award-winning businesses. And companies are looking for entrepreneurs, female entrepreneurs who are successful, or executives, that they can take into their supply chain because they have to, and need to support them. So it really, there is an opportunity across spectrums for people to be recognised.
And the future is so bright for a woman now if you do have,
Yeah.
that entrepreneurship qualities and an interest in business. What's the vetting process like? Because it's got to be really credible, I'm sure. And you must get so many nominees in. How do you guarantee that the people coming through are legit?
So, I mean, we do turn people and organisations away.
Yeah.
Obviously, and this year we've had an outstanding amount of interest and applications. And in terms of the organisations, a lot of the research is done ourselves, and there's a lot of data that we look at.
Yeah.
So we look at things like turnover, and we look at their percentage of employees, of staff, and how many women they have, and what they spend. And then it goes through, so we do a short list internally, and then it goes through a vetting process externally, where we have judges, which are, professors and advocates and captains of industry and previous winners. Wow. So we have, and they really test us and put us to the test. So sure. If they think we're not cutting it the one year, we've got to improve the benchmark the following year for being rather cutthroat. And people submit via videos and give us, the best thing that we look for is what's your impact really been? And that's the outcome of what we want to know, not just that, you started a company and are running it greatly. Yeah.
What's your impact? That's a great question. Now, there's not just the Top Woman Awards. No. There's also the whole conference attached to it. Yeah. What exactly happens there, and what is the relevance, I suppose, and the reason for having the two?
So when you're recognising companies, it's great, and people say to us, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
But what have these guys really done, and how do they do it? Because success breeds success.
Sure.
And I want to learn how, if I'm Anglo-American and I'm in mining, and how I've managed to employ more women or put them through a skills program or been able to, affect a community where women abuse isn't happening anymore. And I want to do the same thing in Anglo-American. For example, I'm just giving an example, I'm not saying that they have. How do we emulate that? And so the conference is there to look at all stakeholders in terms of government, in terms of individuals, business owners, and big captains of industry to collaborate and talk around those successful policies or programs that they've implemented through the awards.
Yeah.
But we've also taken it a step further, so we're working with Standard Bank as well. Standard Bank is our major owning sponsor of the whole brand, and they're working with us, and we're partnering with them, and they've got an accelerator program in the Standard Bank Incubator Hub. So we're going to be using the conference to bring some entrepreneurs and award winners and big industry together to see how we can get some more mentorship going, how we can get more entrepreneurs developed.
What an amazing opportunity to network.
And the women are, when they network, they really do buzz. It hums. It's like electricity in that room. Amazing. It does not stop. Somebody like Jenna Clifford will come on, and she puts on like this big loud song before she gets on, and it's like a bit of rock star. And then you've got the big players like Advocate Thuli Madonsela.
Amazing.
So it's a lot of fun, and you get a lot out of it.
And what a great awards! I mean, fantastic. Thank you so much for all of the work that you do.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for chatting to us as well.
Thank you.
Now, the closing date for these prestigious awards is the 21st of July. To enter, visit www.topwoman.co.za.